Jillian Krakova's fingers trembled as she grasped the worn wooden handle of her great-grandmother's loom. It had been decades since anyone in their village used it to weave actual cloth, only the most traditional and isolated communities still did. For Jillian, however, this old contraption held more significance than just nostalgia or heritage. The intricate patterns etched into its surface were said to be a map of forgotten paths, invisible to outsiders but clear as day to those who knew what to look for. She stood in her dimly lit workshop, surrounded by the remnants of a long-abandoned textile industry that once drove the local economy. Dust-covered spindles and half-finished garments hung from wooden dowels like skeletal fingers. The air was thick with the scent of aged wool and something else, something sweet but faintly acidic. Jillian's thoughts drifted back to her grandmother, who had spent hours instructing her in the art of reading these patterns when she was a child. She remembered how her grandmother would press her hand over the loom, letting her feel the subtle vibrations as it hummed with an otherworldly energy. It wasn't just magic, it was the land itself speaking to them. As Jillian's gaze wandered back to the loom, her fingers began to move of their own accord, weaving a new pattern that seemed to sear itself into the wooden slats like burning embers. The threads intertwined with an eerie harmony, as if responding to some hidden force within her. The room around her started to change, the dusty air took on a heavier quality, shadows shifted, deepening the corners where they shouldn't be dark, and outside, the village seemed to grow quieter, its sounds muted by the rising wind. Jillian felt an unshakable sense that she was not alone in this place. It began with small things, her fingers twitching to adjust threads or reposition spindles, which would then move on their own as if driven by some unseen force. The loom's wooden slats started to crack and groan under the relentless pressure of the weaving, a low-pitched whine that drew closer, until Jillian felt it vibrating through every cell in her body. She knew she was losing control, but whose? Was it the land itself exerting its influence, guiding her toward some long-forgotten purpose? Or was there something more sinister lurking beneath the surface? The air thickened further as threads continued to flow from the loom, filling the room with a fine web of gossamer that seemed to solidify into tangible strands. Jillian felt herself being drawn into it, becoming part of this otherworldly pattern, forever bound to the ancient power that coursed through her veins like lifeblood. Her fingers moved faster now, driven by an unyielding force as she wove a tapestry of darkness and light, forever entwining with the threads of some forgotten truth.